Hello everybody, I'm on a Fruit Basket Season 2, Episode 10 anime review. Let's just say things have changed. That's where we're at now. This was a turning point, I feel like. Tohru has an actual goal now, if that makes sense. Of course it does. Yeah, it was poor. I could have strangled the man. You know the one I mean. God, if he had done worse than a scratch, I would have been mad. I would have come in here like, oh, I'm going to kill you. Didn't even realise they scratched her, to be honest. Came a little bit out of nowhere. But the dude still deserves all the comeuppance he's going to get. But I do I feel like he's not completely bad? I mean, I still hate him. But this episode sort of hinted there might be more to it than previously thought, I guess. So here's hope. Do I want him to be less bad than he is? Because I really don't like him. He's a right douchebag. Let's get into the episode. See how everything went down and everything. And we'll get to it. It's going to be a long-ass middle section. I'll tell you that right now. Anyway, let's do this thing. They got fireworks, guys, which is the telltale sign that we are approaching the end of an arc. You know, fireworks, pretty good indication you're coming to the end. So, day after tomorrow, not the movie, is when they're going back to the regular old house. So, fireworks tomorrow, end on a high note, whoop-de-doo, good stuff there. But then the kids want to watch some anime. They all end up watching it. One weird thing, we'll get to it later on, but it's the whole, how do you show anime within an anime? And it's just an anime in a different style to the anime you're currently watching. Which, fair enough. Makes sense. Comes up later, not important. Just thought that was interesting. Tohru, also, she goes to get, I think it's Momoji and Kyo. It's definitely them too, because it's kind of important. She kind of realizes that, hey, Yuki and Kyo have both had... basically, she realizes, hey, they've had episodes dedicated to their, their growth and their mental growth, So, that's nice. Wonder if I'll do that too. Then she overhears Kyo and Momoji talking about basically how them behaving for Akito is them protecting Tohru from him, because that's good stuff. And then they talk about wanting to be selfish. Momoji's like, I love Kyo. Not Kyo. I said the wrong name. I meant Tohru. I'm assuming he means that in like a brother-sister way, and not like in a Kyo way. And if he does, hey, Momoji, you can be a rival too. You ain't gonna beat Kyo though. So there's that. And then Tohru sort of thinks like, man, I want to do more for everyone as well. I want to change something, whether that's in herself or in everyone. Well, I mean, later on, sort of, we get more on that, but for right now, I'm talking about, don't really know what she's on about. Shigure, back to them. They all go watch anime, by the way. I didn't mention that. They all watch the anime. Shigure asks why Akito bought Kureno. Doesn't really get a good answer, so okay. His answer he might have given might have just been the reason, or he's hiding something, whatever. Akito is displeased with Shigure because Shigure isn't kind enough to him anymore. Now he's kind to that woman. And at first I was like, who's that woman? Like, who is that? Do we know any woman? Obviously, it's Tohru, right? Didn't figure that out. So I guess, are they implying that Shigure likes Tohru too? Or Akito thinks Shigure likes Tohru? Because how old is Shigure? Like, Shigure, to me, I think he's a lot older than he is. Like, I think he's actually still technically quite young. But still, you're boinking Rin and you're going for Tohru? That's not right, man. Let's pick one. Preferably not Tohru. And also let Haru have Rin, because I felt really sorry for him the other week. So, there's that. I guess there's where my alignment is. Alignment? That's not the right word. Allegiance? That's a better word. Don't know if it's accurate. Anyway. Ren, also, yeah, Kureno then calls and says, basically, main family, there's this guy called Ren who's kicking up a fuss. Don't know if he's going to be a recurring character or not, Ren, or if he was just an excuse to get Akito all pissy. And get pissy he does, or more pissy, I guess. Akito disappears, I guess, when he was meant to be packing. So, damn it, Akito. You want me to pack your bag? Although we've already seen Akito doesn't know how to do regular chores. Like, is turning the water off a chore? No, he doesn't do things like that. He's a bad man. So yeah, then where could he have disappeared to? I got so scared at this point, I'm going to be honest, because I had a feeling proved true, and then I had a more nervous feeling. Well, we'll get to it. Let's get to it. So where is he? He's at the main house where everybody is staying. Momoji is actually the one to see him. He came to see Tohru, which is, when he said those words, my heart sank. I was like, if he punches Tohru, or slaps her, or berates her, or does anything, I'm gonna flip. Like, what actually happened wasn't too bad, because I was expecting the worst. I'm gonna be completely honest. I was full on expecting, like, a punch. And I would have been mad. So I'm glad he didn't. Let's go with that. Momoji actually refuses to get Tohru for Akito, because Akito's in a bad mood, and he thinks he's going to take it out on her. Which he probably was. But because he defied him, which... I mean, first off, fair play to Momoji for standing his ground. He got punched in the face. So, yeah, at that punch I was like, oh no, this is going to end badly. And yeah, so basically Momoji's like, what's up, man? Like, how can I help you? Why are you mad? And then he gets punched. Poor Momoji. Felt really bad for him. Then Akito says something kind of weird. It's like, you don't want to try and understand me at all, you just want to belittle me? And I'm like, no, I think he was just being concerning, you know? Momoji, I mean, this is all Akito's got a sort of warped mind, clearly. So, I felt really bad for him, you know? Then Tohru shows up, and my God, I got scared, because this is like I mean, Akito and Tohru have met before, but is this the second time they've come face to face, or third? I think it's the second. I might be forgetting one though, because obviously there was that time in the school when Yuki was petrified. That's the one I remember. So if there's another one, I forgot it basically. Tohru shows up. Akito is mean to her, quite very mean. I haven't wrote down everything he says. He calls her scum. I remember that, and at that point I was like, I hate you. Don't insult Tohru's the best, right? I can't figure this out. Why people would insult Tohru, you know? I know Akito's clear that that's how you do it. That's how you show a bad guy. Or a less good guy. Just insult Tohru, because she's the best. She's like an angel. I should make a show where I just praise Tohru. I don't know what I'd call it, though. But I can think of a funny name. I can't think of a funny name. Anyway, so yeah, he does that. Tells her Kyo's going to be locked up. So now Tohru's aware of that. So that's great. Also, everyone else is going to come live with him in the main Soma estate. So she'll never see them again, basically. In what he calls an eternal banquet. More on that in a minute, because I feel like that's a key word. Everyone's going to live with him. Eternal banquet. Kind of weird. Not weird, but kind of foreboding is a good word. Let's use that one. So yeah. Tohru, then he also says, he's also kind of weird this part, made me chuckle a little bit. He's like, and you're not coming, Tohru. You're not invited to my party, you know? This is my party. You're not my friend. You're not invited. You had to stay outside. I'm really trying to, like, not be super serious all the time. But damn it, man. The last few episodes of it, there's not been many room for jokes, so I'm gonna take them where I can get them, god damn it. She asks if that's true happiness. I don't think Akito was expecting a retort from Tohru. He looked really pissed off when she replied. Then he says something about how they basically live in two different worlds, different ways of life and everything. And it's like, yeah, but yours is like abusive and bad, and Tohru's is great and friendly. So I'm not going to be one of them people that's like, my way is right, your way is wrong. But Tohru's way is definitely the better way, IMO. So there's that. Akito isn't the rooster, Tohru figures out, which, I mean, we already knew that, but I guess Tohru needs to figure it out. Makes sense. Basically, then explains what he is. We get a little brief flashback. Basically, he's God. I mean, he's not God, but he's like, to the Zodiac members, he's God. So I guess he's got the spirit of God in him, technically. Which is why the others can't defy him, because of the God spirit, I guess. It's like a, what's the word? Automatic ability, a passive skill. They cannot disobey the God Man. So there's that going on. Kurano comes to get him, and then he gets introduced. Like, this is actually the rooster. My note just says bastard scratched her. So I guess this is when I noticed she had scratch marks on her cheek. So yeah, don't do that, Akito. You'll ruin Tohru's face. Tohru has a nice face. Not meaning that in a creepy way. It's very nicely drawn. That might sound even more creepy, actually. I'm not meaning it like that. Apologies. Yeah, what else happened? He tells her to stop meddling, which, I mean, she's a teenager. She's a very independent, is independent the right word? She was living in a tent, we'll call her independent. Independent, mature teenager at points. But she's still a teenager. And if you tell a teenager not to do something, that's the first thing they're likely to do. I was a teenager once, it was like, Connor, don't jump off, don't jump in that ditch. I fell face first, well, it was like leg first in the ditch. It was like, it was a ditch like this, and then I went, I splatted. Not relevant at all. Just thought I'd tell that story of how teenagers will do what teenagers gotta do, I guess. The curse basically binds everyone. Tohru has a little think at this point. Akito leaves. The curse is the thing that's binding everyone. Still don't know too much actually about the curse and what it is, how it was there, how to get rid of it. That's a key information you need. A bit of key information. It's bad grammar by me. It's fine. But she's figured, hey, the curse is binding everyone. It's also binding Akito. So, kind of opens up the thing that, hey, Akito doesn't necessarily want this life. It's just sort of something that's been forced on him. Maybe. I kind of get the feeling, also, that maybe the whole God thing, maybe Akito's lived a really long time. That, or it's like, because the way he's acting and everything, he knows everything he's got to do. The way he's acting is so... the way he's acting is like someone who's done this a load of times, like a million times. So I get the feeling he's either way older than we think, and that's why he's also quite sickly, is because he's technically really old, but looks young. Or it's some sort of spirit, like it carries over certain memories or something. I'm just making guesses here, folks. I don't actually know. So, there's that. Also, don't tell me, because it's more fun if I don't know. I've lost where I am in my notes. I'm sorry. Hattori and Shigure show up to check on Tohru, and Momoji starts crying, and there's hugs and transformations. Kyo, Haru, and Yuki likely saw everything from outside the window, but as we said, can't do anything about it because of the whole Zodiac God thing. What else? They also say, I think it was Yuki, it's like, it's not easy to protect someone. And then we go to Tohru, and Tohru's like, yeah, it's not easy, but I want to protect them all anyway. So that's nice. Tohru has a goal. More on that in a minute. But yeah, this middle section, I'm amazed how into Fruits Basket I've got. Like, I'm super invested, and I hope everything works out. Like, I really hope everything, no, I'm not going to go any further than that. I hope everything works out. This video, I've rambled a lot in this second section, so let's get to the last section. It's kind of a short one. I don't have too much to talk about, but hey, there's some stuff in there, so let's get to that. It's time for the fireworks. That's right, in case you forgot, because I actually did forget, we're actually going to be setting off some fireworks, which is the ultimate calm after the storm, is what I will call it. It's like the ending, it's like the epilogue section of this arc, basically, where all the crap's gone down, the mental stuff, and now it's like, alright, here's a bit of calm before we get to the next, the next major stuff, I guess. So yeah, fireworks. Momoji sets off the worst firework I've ever seen in my life. My 21 years of life. Am I 20? I am 21. Forgot my own age there. That's fine. So yeah, basically this section, everyone having a good time. There's like little comedic bits. It's a bit of levity, is what it is. It's a little bit of a breather. It's a break. It's a calm before the storm. It's exactly what it is, or the calm after the storm, I guess in this case. Rin is also watching briefly. I do get the feeling that we're going to do some more stuff with her at some point this season, because so far she's not even really had an episode dedicated to her. She's popped up, in that Haru episode. She showed up at the beach house and everything, met Tohru, but haven't really done much. We don't know really much about her or anything, so I feel like that's something we might get soon. Yuki said he'd do something. He hasn't done anything yet, so hopefully he gets on that. Tohru then reckons everyone actually, they don't want to get locked up or stay at the place. They want to live their futures. And it's like, yeah, I would think so. So in that case, got to break the curse. And that's what Tohru plans to do. She wants to break the curse despite not knowing what the curse is, how the curse got there, or how to break it. Unless they said that stuff in Season 1, I've forgotten. Because I do not remember. So, I mean, they've mentioned the curse before. Don't think they've said exactly what it is. Like, what it does exactly. Which would be nice, or how it works. How it works, I imagine, is it's the Zodiac stuff and breaking the curse to make them just normal humans again. But who knows? Yuki gets very poetic, sort of about how he says a good line. It's like, summer comes every year, but you only get this summer once. Which to me, along with what he said after that, it sort of implied that he was saying that this could be the only summer that they're going to spend together. Which, if what Akito said is true, that would make sense. And he said it in kind of a poetic, roundabout way, but I think I got what he was saying. Yuki's got very poetic recently, and, you know, makes it harder for me to understand what he's saying, because I am not a poet, or anything along those lines. What else is there? Yuki also gets Kyo to come sit with them, basically by calling him a Bakaneko, which, fine, makes sense to me. And then, yay, fireworks going off, good stuff all around. That was the end of the episode, and I do believe the end of the beach arc. I don't know if it has a name, but it feels like this is the end of the beach arc. But yeah, it was mental. A lot of stuff happening. Really cute. There's like a bunch of stuff, not just in this episode, in the other episodes as well, like when Kyo met Tohru's mum and peeked on Tohru in the window. Hopefully we get more on that as well. Maybe Yuki will eventually tell Tohru that it was him with the hat, although maybe he doesn't want to. Who knows? There's a lot of stuff that's going on all around. Maybe Tohru's going to do some research. Can't see her going to a public library and doing research on the curse, though. Doesn't seem like that's the type of thing she would do. Could be wrong on that. Maybe she'll ask, who's likely to tell her out of the Zodiac? Like, who's knowledgeable and would tell her? Shigure might just to cause trouble, because that is definitely what he's like. But, I mean, who knows, you know? There's so many moving parts, and I love it, because, like, everything... I get the sense everything is going to come together, and it's going to be great. But at the moment, I'm just here with theories. And theories, that's not my... Well, I mean, no, I like doing it. It's pretty fun. I like doing it in these, like, review videos. It's fun. I would never make a separate channel dedicated to it, because then I'd have to think of loads. And if you'd have to think of loads, eventually some of them get pretty pants, or pretty out there, and pretty, essentially, ridiculous and unbelievable. But, hey, that's not me shading no one. Let's just end this thing. My voice is starting to go, and I need to get up early for work tomorrow, which is always a good thing. Thank you, everybody, for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing and stuff for more reviews. That would help me out immensely. Thank you very much. I will see you next week for another episode of this. Take care, and bye, guys.